The sun is doing weird things. It doesn't want me to film. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So happy to see you here. I really missed you. Sorry I didn't upload. I uploaded one video last week, and because I filmed a video and it was like the topic of the video was good, I liked it, but the video itself was very bad and I hated it. So I deleted it and didn't want to upload. But today, this week, I'm going to upload more videos, hopefully. And yeah, this is a series called Book Details with Didi, where I talk about books that I liked or I didn't like, what I did like, what I didn't, and you can share your thoughts and ideas with me. So today, in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the books that I read when I was younger, and it's a sci-fi book. I'm pretty sure most of you read it, and this book, I had mixed feelings about it. So without further ado, let's start and talk about this book. So I'm going to talk about the Maze Runner series. If you can't place the the titles, it's because these books are translated in my language. And when I read these books, I was like 15 or 16, so my English wasn't that good. So yeah, let's start with the first book, The Maze Runner. First of all, I love that cover. Look at it. It's beautiful. I didn't read the book. First, I watched the movie, the one with Dylan O'Brien's in it. Of course, who else? And I really liked it, especially the actors. I think they chose good actors for this movie. And I loved the setting, everything. I think the first movie was really great, and the first book. So let me tell you a little about this book. We start with Thomas. Is that how you pronounce it? Thomas in an elevator, kind of like an elevator. He's going up to somewhere, and when he opens his eyes, he doesn't remember anything but his name. And he opens his eyes to this like a field with boys, and only boys. There's no girl, and one side of the field is farm, the other side is like where they sleep, the other side is like where they eat, where they cook. They made like a very small village. And so he tries to remember like what's going on, why are we all boys here? Why do we remember certain things? Like I think they can read and write, but like he doesn't remember anything else. And he asks others like, why are we trapped in this place? And they tell him this is the same every once in a while. They just send another one here, and this is all our lives. We don't remember much either. And so I said it's a field. They're trapped. And I think, yes, during the day, the gates open, and they have runners, and they go through this maze. I don't remember, what do they do? I think they search for a way to get out of this field. So they have special runners that they go through this maze, and they should come back. If they don't, there are some creatures that eat them. So Thomas somehow gets to this runners thing, the maze runner thing, and interesting things happen to them. They see the animal, they get trapped, and they somehow find a way to escape. So I'm going to be honest, this book, the start was great. I loved the plot. I loved the girl. The girl was good. I mean, I was curious. This entire book, and I don't know. I love this book for science fiction. I love the characters. And I loved everything. Overall, I think the first book and the first movie were really great. Then we were hit with the second book, which the name I don't remember. I think the Scorch Trails. So the second book is when the kids, we find them, they are now out of the field, they try to find their way, I forgot something. At the end of this book, they figure out that they are part of an experiment. You know what I mean. And in the second book, they are trying to understand, like, who can they trust, is why this is experiment. Because they later on find out that there's a city and people are living there, and in the first book they said everyone died. So we have so many mysteries in the second book. And there's a guy which I don't remember his name. He constantly lies to them. Like, why? Okay. And in this book, they find out that there was another, like, field, but in that field, there were only girls with one boy. In this field, there were only boys with one girl. So now they are trying to find out who they can trust and how to find their. I just stopped this. Sorry. And how they can find their way. And the reason I don't remember so much about this book, I think I didn't watch the second movie, or I watched it. I don't know. I don't remember many things about the second book, and I don't remember many things about the second movie. It's because it was just questions. You constantly, like, if the first book made you curious with a little bit mystery, this one was all mystery. So I was like, the good thing is we have a third book. And I was like, okay, I'm going to read this one and I'm going to get my answers in the third book. That's not what happened, hon. I'm going to be honest. Let me give you a backstory. I read these two books in summer, and I really was waiting because I wanted to know, honey, what happens at the end. I want to know. I want all my questions to be answered. So I bought the third book. I love the cover here too. Look at it. It's really beautiful. Okay. So I bought this book, and it was my school, and my mom always told me to not read books when I have school because I just keep reading and I don't focus on my lessons. And I was like, okay, mom, yeah, cool. Just let me buy this so I can have a peace of mind that the answers to my questions are here. And she said, okay, yeah, it's okay. And she went to another store to buy. I don't even remember what was she buying, but it took a while. So I sat down and I was like, okay, let me just start. Okay, let me start. And the beginning of the book was amazing. Like, I remember I loved, oh my God, I loved the beginning of it. It started with Thomas again opening his eyes, because I think at the end of the second book they were captured. So he opens his eyes and he sees he's in this room. Everything is white. His clothes are white and he's trapped. He doesn't know what happened to his friends. And it starts from there. And it was so interesting for me. And I was like, oh my God, this book is going to be the best of the three. That's not what happened. To be honest, in this book, I love a book that shows you there's no black and white. But in this book, if you haven't read it, please skip ahead. I'm going to spoil some things. Thomas killed Neot. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. In my books, in my language, they wrote Neot, and I'm going to pronounce it like that. Okay. killed Newt. Like, listen, I know that Newt told him kill me because I don't want to be the reason that harms you guys, and he did, but in his mind he was like, I'm not going to tell the other guy because then he will hate me. And I hated Thomas because of that. In the third book, Thomas was a total cheater, I hated him. I hated his character. Like, if he was like, yeah, I'm going to kill Newt and I'm going to come clean with everyone else and tell them the truth, although they will hate me, I will take it. That's not what he did. And I hated him for that. And that's not the only thing that really frustrated me with this book. The thing was that the book finished and I was like, okay, then what happened? Like, I was so angry. I remember I was so angry that one of my other friends was reading this book and she didn't read the third book. And I came to her and I was like, you know what? I want to send letter to this, what's his name? To this James guy and tell him, honey, when you want to finish your book, you should read this first too. I was that angry. I wanted to write a whole book, write a whole ending, send it to him and say, honey, you should answer our questions like this. And yeah, I was really angry because at the end we didn't understand like what happened. So many questions weren't answered. Especially in the second book, I was so confused and none of my questions were answered here. So I was pretty unsatisfied with the whole series. Like, overall, I think the idea was great. I don't know, I liked it. Maybe it's because my favorite bookseller introduced this series to me. Maybe that's why I really like it. But the ending was really, I didn't like it, you know. I think the best book was just the first one. Was the first one, and the other two were equally confusing and unsatisfying and bad. Not bad, I don't want to say bad, but you know what I mean. Like, the beginning of the third book was great. Like, I think the first book was the best, then the third book, then the second one. That's what I think. I don't recommend this book to... Like, if I wanted to recommend something, I would say read the first book and just leave it at that. Oh, sorry. Read the first book and leave it at that, because the other two books were just confusing and unsatisfying, and the girl character was just like, what are you doing, hon? Whose side are you on? I don't understand. So, yeah, but I didn't watch the third movie. I don't know, I think because I was traumatized by the third book, that I didn't want to put myself through the movie. But overall, if I want to be honest, I think in sci-fi movies, I haven't read the Hunger Games and the movie. But the ones that I read and saw, I think The Maze Runner is the best movie and book plot, especially because of the actors. I love Dylan O'Brien. They were pretty good actors. I'm not good with names, so I don't say their names to you. The actors were really great. I think that's the good point of this movie. But everything else, I was just unsatisfied. And yeah, I was heartbroken by this series. So yeah, that's my little review here. I really wanted to go back to my teenage years, and the only thing that I remembered, not the only thing, but the most remarkable books that I remembered were like The Maze Runner and Divergent. Overall, it was a good journey. I liked the world and the plot, but not satisfying. So, yeah, what do you think? Do you think the movies are better? Do you think the books are better? Which one is in the order for me? For me, it's the first book, then the third book, then the second book, from best to worst. What do you think? Do you think did I miss something? What do you think of the characters? At the end, I really hated Thomas's character. And yeah, that said, it's a while since I read sci-fi books, and I kind of want to go back, but I don't know any. Like, I have one good book in mind. The name is Legend by Mary Lou, and I have that on my list. Maybe I will read it soon. But if you have any recommendations of sci-fi books that I will enjoy, let me know. Should I read The Hunger Games? That was always my question. I was like, is it worth reading and watching? Because I've never watched it completely. And I never read the books. So yeah, I would love to know your ideas and comments. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I missed you. If you like my videos and if you like to talk about books, I would be happy if you subscribe, if you like. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I want you to have a great rest of your day or week. Take care. Bye.